last of the 7 runners on settling down. Dino's Bino goes off in front as they head now towards the first of 11 flights. Dino's Bino by 2 lengths to Midnight Legend and French Holly up on the outside. Just behind them is Joyous, who settles 4th from Mr. Morose, and further back is Straterez, last of all Istabraq. As they head now to the second, Dino's Bino by 4 lengths clears that well from French Holly. Istabraq jumping at last as they prepare to lead the back. Dino's Bino tearing off in front here by 4 lengths to French Holly. 3 away then is Midnight Legend. Couple away then further back is Joyous, the leader trying to stretch them early, making it a real stamina test. 3 lengths further back then is Mr. Morose from Straterez, and Istabraq, the long odds on favourite, is last of all, about 15 lengths off the pace. And that pace is being forced in the early stages by champion Tony McCoy on Dino's Bino, who leads by 6 to 7 lengths from French Holly as they run down towards the entrance of the home straight. Similar distance away in third then Midnight Legend, followed by Joyous, Straterez. 3 away is Mr. Morose and 2 to Istabraq as they straighten up for home the first time. Heading up towards the third, and it's Dino's Bino by 6 lengths, clears it well from in second. French Holly, a gap then of 6 or 7 lengths to Midnight Legend. Joyous getting a slap with the whip, followed then by Straterez, and out the back still is Istabraq as the leader clears the second one in the straight, and Mr. Morose is now relegated to last. Heading up the home straight now the first time, and towards flight number 5. Dino's Bino by 4 or 5 lengths to in second, French Holly. Jumping it in third then is Midnight Legend. 3 away Joyous from Straterez. Joyous given another reminder. Then under tight rein is Istabraq on the outside of Mr. Morose, and still the favourite, spotting this leader. A tidy start, about 10 to 12 lengths as they head past the judge. A circuit remaining in 6th to jump, and Dino's Bino, Tony McCoy, who got up to win this race last year on Fridwell, just edging out to Istabraq in a controversial finish, is trying to do the same here. But Dino's Bino wobbled around the turn there and given a slap with the whip just to get his concentration going again. Dino's Bino a length in front of French Holly. They've closed right up on the leader. Then in third is Midnight Legend. 2 to Straterez from Joyous on the outside of Mr. Morose, and 2 then to Istabraq as they head down the back and towards flight number 6. First of 3 down there, and Dino's Bino got in a fraction close to that. On the outside, French Holly jumped it okay, and Midnight Legend making a line of 3 now, getting through on the inside. 3 lengths away then is Straterez, similar distance to Istabraq, still weighted with from Mr. Morose, and 5 lengths to Joyous, who's dropping out. Heading now towards the middle one down the back, and Midnight Legend wrapped the top of that very hard, but still landed in front from in second. Dino's Bino now up on his outside is French Holly. In behind them, Straterez running a good race as they come to 4 out. Further back in the field then Istabraq, who cleared that in 5th place, followed by Mr. Morose, and a gap then to Joyous, who's last of all, preparing to lead the back in the Martell Aintree hurdle. And the leader here on the inside as they swing the corner, Midnight Legend from in second place, then French Holly. 2 away then in third is Straterez, a gap to Istabraq, who's got about 6 or 7 lengths to make up. Behind him is Mr. Morose, and Dino's Bino has dropped right back through the field as they race towards the home turn now. It's Midnight Legend, the leader, by a length to French Holly. 2 away Straterez. 3 further back in the field then Istabraq, who's edging closer. Further back behind him, about 6 lengths away, is Mr. Morose, and Dino's Bino straightening up for the judge. 3 left to jump in the Martell Aintree hurdle, and it's on the far side, Midnight Legend being joined now by French Holly, but here comes the favourite Istabraq. He's riding confidently. Further back then is Straterez, a gap to Mr. Morose. 2 left to jump, and it's French Holly on the near side, who was clumsy at that but landed full of running from in second, Midnight Legend. Here comes Istabraq though on the outside. 1 left to jump, French Holly about a length in front. Here he is, Istabraq on the outside, joins in now on a tight rein. He looms up, grabs a narrow lead from French Holly. Straterez has gone at the last, but as they come up towards the line, this is a very cheeky win indeed. It's Istabraq being very confidently ridden by Charlie Swan. Goes on to win on the bridle by a length. Second is French Holly, a gap then of 6 or 7 lengths to Midnight Legend in third, followed then by Mr. Morose behind them, and Dino's Bino. Unfortunately, Straterez has come to grief at the last. Joyous was pulled up. In the